There's a lot of noise about tariffs right now and the impacts that are coming to consumers over the next months and quarters ahead. But I wanted to highlight really how tariffs are affecting businesses today. One of the companies that I work with, it's a small business, when you would call a business success story. Last 5 years, spun up, 7, 8 employees, nice lifestyle, a nice business. And this business relies on imports, particularly from China and other surrounding Asian countries. They import goods, they remanufacture in the US, and they sell on to the US market. This business has tried to plan as best it can to address the risks of tariff. It saved money, it saved costs, it put inventory orders in early to bring in tariff-free or reduced tariff goods. But even with all their great planning, they're still encountering a lot of issues with tariff, and this is twofold. One, they, despite their best efforts, had to pay tens of thousands of dollars of tariffs as their goods were on the water, they were delayed, and they got to the harbor when tariffs were 145%. They paid tens of thousands of dollars. 2 weeks later, tariffs dropped 110%. They ended up paying this tax for potentially no reason. So now they have to either eat that cost or push it on to their customer. They're stuck with inventory that they're now underwater on. And then this leads to a big decision point for them on what do they do now with additional inventory. They need to buy more. They need to bring more product into the country. There is no domestic supply of their product. They have a choice of rushing inventory now, and tariffs are roughly 45%, paying that bill and just calling it the best of what you can do right now. They can wait and hope tariffs come down to 10, 20, maybe 30%, but less. Or they run that risk potential of tariffs going back up to 145% plus. So they're at a really hard juncture right now, and they frankly do not know which way to go. Which for a business, you have a lot of competitors. Everybody's moving forward, and if you're not moving forward, you're slowly, if not very quickly, dying. Is what is going to kill a number of businesses, going to take away the competitive edge, in addition to just the raw costs that they're now paying. So tariff impact right now is real. You're seeing it in a number of importers, in a number of companies that even despite their best efforts are struggling to pay these tariffs, struggling to buy against these tariffs, struggling to pay and plan ahead. And these costs will eventually start trickling through the supply chain and will impact the day-to-day consumers like you and I.